Radical.
This is kind of an impromptu upload, but actually, I want to talk about this because I don't think I've ever talked about it before, at least not in any kind of detail. I want to talk about this because when it comes to sports news, all I seem to be seeing is stuff about Caitlin Clark, along with, of course, the finals, which are going to be the Celtics and the Mavs, which is not surprising when it comes to the Celtics end of it. But I think a lot of people were really surprised that the Mavs made it all the way. I think it's going to be a hell of a series, though, hell of a finals. But yeah, this basketball player, female basketball player, actually, Caitlin Clark, was really big in college. Had a lot of people tune in to watch her specifically. I think ratings-wise, when she was on the court, the ratings for her games were a lot higher than any of the men's college teams, actually. Than any of the men's college teams. And the ratings for the WNBA, whenever she's playing, is more than twice as much, I believe. Attendance. I've seen some figures over 10,000 more in attendance, which is impressive because usually the attendance is around 7,000, close to 20,000 when Caitlin Clark is on the court. She is big. She's big. Now, I don't follow women's college basketball. I don't follow the WNBA, but it's almost like media is pushing her and pushing people into checking out the WNBA harder than just about anything else. Even on ESPN, you'd see all these stories about the WNBA, well, basically Caitlin Clark, and then you'd have these WNBA players on there. And the WNBA players, one player in specific, called out Stephen A. Smith on ESPN for not focusing on the WNBA for several years before Caitlin Clark got there. And they're talking about this weird hip check, which is not even a hard foul. It's, somebody just hip checked Caitlin Clark and she went down a little bit. Maybe it's because it's females and people don't like seeing females get fouled because, they're the more fragile gender. But I would argue a lot of them women in the WNBA, in some cases, they're literally men. Did I talk about that? There's a WNBA player that actually announced that they're having a kid, but their wife is female, and they're not adopting. So try to figure that out. Oh, I figured it out. I've seen this WNBA player topless, and it looks like a dude. I mean, it is a dude, but they're dressing up as a female. Literally, it's a situation like, the movie Joanna Man? It's like Joanna Man. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about Caitlin Clark and how I feel she is being overhyped to the sky. And they're talking about her like she's going to be one of the all-time greats in basketball. But her numbers say otherwise. Her team, I believe, is 2-19, something like that. 2-20, I don't know. Her team is doing terrible in the WNBA. Her numbers are bad. She's missing layups. Maybe it's the fact that women are jealous of other women, and all the women are making sure to foul her, to give her hard fouls, to make things difficult for her because women are more jealous than men. Men, you know this. A woman that will talk to you about all the other women she hates at work, but generally if a guy gets home after a hard day at work, he's talking about the work being hard. He's not talking about all the guys he hates at work. But the women, trust me, they have all these females that they hate at work because they're jealous of these females. It's just a part that goes along with being a woman. They're just innately jealous of other women. So you see this come to a head. They're jealous of women to get more attention. Hardly anyone in sports right now on ESPN is getting more attention than fucking Caitlin Clark, right? Now, my opinion to finish off on the WNBA is, sorry, this is kind of all over the place. I didn't take any notes. This is just impromptu. I don't know if you can tell. But my feeling on the WNBA is the same feeling when I get if I watch regular Olympics and then Special Olympics. Nothing wrong with Special Olympics. That's great that there is a Special Olympics. I'm just not interested in watching it because it's such a lower bar set than the regular Olympics. If I'm watching basketball, I don't even like watching college basketball. I don't even, unless I'm watching somebody like maybe a Zion Williams or something that I know is going to be a big deal at some point in the future. I like watching top tier sports, top tier basketball, people at the top of their game, and that is not the WNBA. The very best WNBA player, and no, it's not Caitlin Clark, the very best WNBA player would handily lose to just about any scrub, any bench player on the men's team. It's a fact. So, I've seen people say, some of the women say, this is the highest level of basketball. Do you really honestly fucking believe that? In a way, I think the NBA seems to be subsidizing the WNBA. You know, the WNBA has been around for almost 30 years now? That can't be a fact. 30 years, almost 3 decades of a league that most no fucking body cares about. Because like I said, it's like comparing the regular Olympics to the Special Olympics. There's just such a wide chasm in the talent ability. Even the one person isn't that great of a player. The person I talked about who was genetically born a man, that's not even the best. Well, maybe I take that back what I said. It is the worst male player would be the best female player. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. You got me. Maybe not the very worst players. But an average player, a slightly below average NBA player on the Lakers or even like the Pistons would completely one-on-one destroy any of the WNBA players. That's just a fact. So I don't get why there's so much attention on the WNBA right now over just one player, other than possibly it could be maybe she's the Great White Hope. Think about it. Most players in the WNBA are black. Caitlin Clark is white. Lily White. Indiana, down home, corn-fed white. So it's almost like there's a racial component and you get all these soccer moms, these suburban soccer moms that are watching the WNBA right now, just cheering for the white one. Maybe I'm off base. But explain to me how else this could be. She's getting headline news on ESPN. If you tuned into ESPN, if you ever do, or the other sports networks, you're kind of scratching your head like, okay, they're talking about the upcoming football season, talking about maybe Patrick Mahomes. They're talking about Travis Kelce, the Chiefs, maybe if they can repeat. They're talking about the Lakers, the Celtics. And then out of nowhere, all these stories, headline stories. Ooh, Caitlin Clark got fouled. It's a hard foul. What the fuck is the story there? What's the story? The WNBA compared to the NBA absolutely fucking sucks. If you paid me money, unless it was a lot of money, I don't think I could sit down and actually watch a full WNBA game. Because I would keep thinking at the back of my mind, all right, the male players wouldn't be missing fucking layups. Okay, the male players would be getting rebounds. The male players wouldn't be airballing back-to-back threes. They wouldn't be doing that. And the WNBA players, they even use a lighter ball. So they're even getting advantages there. Okay? But yeah, just want to quickly talk about my thoughts on the WNBA.
you.